It is the afternoon on the 16th. I had a morning session, did a few clerical things, scheduled a podcast for next week. Got time massage jam tomorrow, other stuff to handle, but a little bit more time so I can sit and play. Got another 9-player coming up. Small wins earlier were nice. I wish it was more, but I guess I can't win everyone, contrary to my distinct tastes there. Let's see where we're at. More poker. More poker, more poker. Do I want a fizzy water? Do I want a fizzy water? Yes, I think I do. Why not make a small bet here? Could be trapped. Certainly, if you had a queen, you would call. I got a Topo Chico, the angry water. I was like, bet half the pot, bet half the pot. I'm like, it's not right. I'm like, half the pot is 30 chips, bro. I need a 10 of clubs, please. It's not the card I was looking for. No idea what I'm up against, by the way. Could be easily losing, but we're about to find out. Queen. Nope. Sometimes that happens. Now, what was I going to do? Just believe he had it? So we're back on another table after bombing horribly to somebody's pocket aces. We can debate whether that was a good play or not. But aren't you afraid? I'm like, um, at these tables, that's a really frustrating position, but uh, I've seen guys jam Queen 7 suited. Yeah, let's say I hadn't jammed. Let's say I kept going. Let's say I hit an ace. Now what? Do I think he has aces? I think his betting lets me know that he could when I put him on a range. But he could also have kings, or queens, or jacks, or tens, or lower. Topo Chico, the angry water, the water that bites back. Based on the betting, what did it look like I had? They call that a position. Use me on the big screen. Oh, yeah. Oof. Nice river there. Biet. I shall call it. Oh, yes. Now it's about to get interesting because I'm going to get cracked with somebody with some ace five. They got a open-ended straight draw. They could have sixes. There's also a flush draw. I think I'm going to have to play this heavy. I'm hoping a few more people call so I can jam all in. See what happens. The other table here, not so interested. That's very confusing to me, potentially. Let's see what's going on here. I'm going to check on the other board. That six just didn't really impress me much. They let that go, which I think that's a good as an outcome as I wanted. I was afraid of that. I did not want to get my hand cracked. Not super interested. Check it down. King and a four. Why not? Am I ahead? Am I winning? Wait, part of me wants to keep going here, but okay, now I don't have a flush draw. Could I draw a king? Could I draw a four? Do they have an ace? Let's see. Let's gamble. They do have the ace. Glad you could get a little pay there. You see how even though it's an ace, I just assume he doesn't have it? There's only one more in the deck. Lose the small pots, win the big ones. and there is much wailing and gnashing of teeth. Let's win some money. Come on, kick some ass. A second and a sixth place just didn't satisfy me. Queen 10 is got to hit just right. But you get enough callers in. There's variables. What's half the pot? A little bit less than that. Sweet. I liked it. Small bets, nothing major. Could have easily walked away. Got a big enough stack to be able to gamble a bit. A bunch of callers, that might have been nice. So I got a call. Oh, they let it go. Nice. Oofta. This would have been interesting. That probably could have been a very lucrative board. I don't know how often in advance. This is a challenge. So a limp, 400 stack bets all in. Third, I'm gonna let this go. I'm a little more concerned about number 9 getting involved, and I don't know based on the play what number 4 might be holding there. I just felt like that might be a little too risky. It didn't cost me much to let that go. I would have liked to have seen this, but that's a heavy bet in position, and then there are so many people after me that I'm concerned about additional calls. Did not like it, but did not assume they had Queen Jack. Knew I could be beat, but I had top pair. Now, what did they call with? Sometimes I want to bet this heavier, like 4 times the big blind, but I feel like it is just something that clicks in their brain, like they made a slightly different bet sizing. And this guy was pretty aggressive with King Queen. I think this is easy to put him in. I have a death wish. I want to call with King 10 offsuit out of position just because I had a Topo Chico and I'm living on the edge. Topo Chico, the angry water. Wanted to see the Queen 9, but to that raise, and unless I wanted to go all the way with that, it was probably not a good idea to be engaging. 4 and a 10. I'll check this down. I'll bet back at you. Let's see what you do. 3 and a 6. They let it go. Thank you very much. Probably saved myself a headache. Oh, yeah, here's how I saved myself a headache. Oh, come on now. Really? Serious? We're being for real here? Okay, so this guy's been pretty aggressive with stuff like King Queen. I'm gonna flat this and see if I can get in inexpensively. This is a good, post flop play. Could he have King Jack, Ace Queen? Yes. I think my hand is fairly strong. Did not particularly like the additional call. Okay, let's do this. Maybe I lose. Maybe I don't. Maybe I made enough off of that and they were not willing to keep going. And if I'd have lost to an ace, that would have sucked bad. Small move at the pot here. I do not think it is worth me calling, but that's cool. It's always that question like, did they have it? Well, we don't know. But these guys play really loose. You know, me busting out with ace queen over ace ace. And that early in a tournament, it's almost like, okay, I can bust out right now and get involved in another tournament. It's $1. The only time I'm a little more reticent at these tables, I notice, is re-raise. If a guy re-raises, they very rarely put more chips in. They have a tendency to want to gamble after the flop. They just want to see a hand. It's more fun to play than it is to fold. So a re-raise is something that I'll usually go, but within reason. Sometimes I just don't believe them. Hmm. I just didn't hit. I don't think that's worth continuing to go. Too many scary cards on that board. Even the limp was questionable. That'll be a fold. No idea what's going on over here. This is more challenging. And part of me wants to call this. So 2 times the big blind, solid bet on the button. I think this is probably better for me to get out of the way. I'm worried about ace king or maybe a high pair, queens or higher, especially for number 6. Yeah. $250 is 2.5 times the big blind. Don't love being in the small blind here, but they're pretty loose. Um, gonna bet half the pot here. I'm just gonna check. I was gonna bet here, but I. Oh, come on, man. So the problem is they could have anything, and I've got to take a 1 in 4 chance of drawing a heart. Not even ace high. I bet, and then they called. I don't have any real information about what they've got. I let it time out debating it, but it's just trash. They're calling, but there's no information on their hand and whether they actually had it or not. And even with the other pair that you wound up pulling from that. No, let's see, that was the other hand to me. Yeah, I called, bet half the pot. They called another jack. It's a scare card, but for them to draw, I didn't even show. Let's see here. I bet on the eights. They called out of position. Don't like the additional flush draw. You pray for an 8 on the river, and of course the goddamn 8 had to be a heart. I will flat this, and they will laugh. Nope, you did not have it. I should have bet more. I know they're irritated at the moment, but I didn't lose, so that was nice. So yeah, number 5 at this table, just massive annoyance. I don't know what they were holding. I doubt they had jacks, but who knows? They bet with such a wide range pretty loosely. I mean, they did bet. I mean, they had something, but it's like this: 2 times the big blind. Okay, do they have anything? It's this sort of shit. They like playing these loose hands, and frankly, I think there were 2 pair at the river. I think, I'm not sure. Um, that may have just mean that they had ace high, and my king 10 would not have held up. Do not feel like calling. Was not going for the defend. Okay, you want to bet, then I will call. If they check, they're afraid of clubs. They bet again. It doesn't show strength from my hand, but I also I didn't hit anything that I could keep going with that. Here, I don't know. Let's limp in, see if we can see something. Uh, 6 and a 7. No, I hated losing like that, but what do you do? Sometimes the cards just don't go your way. And then gonna bet half the pot. Let the king 2 go. Still doing okay over here. It's an ugly board. I don't love this, but I have to choose how to play that. The re-raise means a lot of shit to me. I think if I'm going to play this, it's this way. I'm likely going to lose. And there you go. Now, why play king queen that way? Can anybody explain that to me mathematically? It worked out well for me, but I did not think that was what he was holding. There's the reason I said I thought I was going to lose. King queen, man, I just can't. Okay. I mean, you did it, and I took a risk, but I thought for certain they've got a suited ace X higher than what I've got, ace 10 or up. Fold. And they're back on the races. 2 times the big blind. Happy with my stack at the moment in comparison to theirs. Need to double up over here pretty bad. I'm gonna wind up having to make a hard decision otherwise. I get nervous here betting into number 5 there, but we'll see what happens this time. I also hate to say I'm weirdly suspicious when it's the same hand. So just double my bet. Okay, so what does it tell me you have? Because if you had King Jack, which I've seen you play before, and they make a small fucking move at the pot, okay, do they have it? Well, I did not hit. I'm going to let it go. They do not show, and the world may never know. The challenge is, do I just fold every hand like that? That would have been nice. They would never have seen it. Oh, look, a solid re-raise for 750 chips, by the way. He's probably done with King Queen is what we've seen. In fact, calling jams with it. Yeah, number 5 is loose enough that this is probably good for a call just to see the flop. They're so loose, it could put me in a questionable situation afterwards, but I think the flat call is better in this particular hand. See what happens over here. I think this is strong enough. They may have this with an ace, but I'm pretty weak. Don't have much left. If I'm going to play it, that's how we're going to play it. I'm intrigued by the button limp, or I should say that not in position. I'll just flat here if they'll let me see it. If number 5 starts raising, I'm going to get much more apprehensive. Yeah, nothing hit. Not super excited over here. Just didn't hit anything. The 987 is challenging because it connects to so many potential straights. The 6, or the 5, I should say, adding to that as well. And that is an ugly board. Oof. Four-handed now. We'll see. We got to be careful about number 5 there. If there's anybody to lose to, it's them. And this is a, if I'm going to play it, I don't feel like I can, with aggression, play that, even though it was stronger than the other hand that I jammed with. This is probably an all-in. They want to call and beat me with that, then I just lose. It's a good chance for me to double up. Got a call. Let's see what we get. Give me a 5. Give me a 5. Yeah, did not get it. Back over here. I'll flat this. Again, their range is so wide. The ace of the king is problematic. I could draw another 7 or a 5. The jack, the 10 makes it even more complicated. I think it's easier for me to just let this go. Went out in 6th place at the other table. Sucks to lose, but oh well. And if I get a chance to see a cheap flop with this, I will. Especially playing against a fairly loose player. It's a pretty excellent flop for my hand. I was hoping they'd get involved. I'll flat here if they'll let me in. I don't want to call their bet They've been particularly tight. They're getting testy. They'd likely jam all into a decent holding for their flop. Part of me wants to flat and let him catch up. The other says he may have a pair, like a pair of eights or something. If it folds to me, I'll jam on him again. Could lose, but he's likely going to call with a wider range than even my king jack suited. My concern about king jack is losing to like an ace. See what happens. The other table, you know, it's like, should I just let the ace five go? Maybe. But we were getting shorter. We didn't have much wiggle room left. I've had some players in person criticize my push fold style when I get short. They tell me they want me to play poker, which means they want me to slow play a weak hand, get it cracked, and then slowly get beaten. Don't love this, but I think that was worth it. Check here. He had the ace, he's ahead. See the 1,000 bet, man. Is the 8 strong enough? And it's like the problem is the ace on board. I just don't think that was strong enough. I hate losing to that kind of crap. But it's very hard for me to put that player on a range of what their potential hand might be. That's a problem flop for number 8 unless they have queens or higher. Because they know number 5 is loose enough to call with some of that. Yep. And there you go. Now we will avoid altercations number 8. They are fairly tight. Number 5 did have it, but I mean bottom pair, yeah, with a straight draw. Oof, that's ugly. And maybe someone is going to bubble here. Four-handed, we're getting to limping with good hands. I'd like to make the money here. In some instances, I'd play that, but I hate to say that I'm afraid of number 5. At any moment, he'll put all his goddamn chips in on a wide range of hands. Don't think that the 10-9 is strong enough against them for a call. No fear, no fear. This could be ugly. Three of them involved. Let's see what happens here. Against him, it's enough to flat. I'm going to be very cautious depending on what the flop is. I don't think a jam is best against his range. I think he's very likely got an ace. It really depends on what hits at the flop, whether that's going to be good. He can bluff the queen, put more chips in. I'm pretty much getting to a point where I'm going to be push fold because I can't tolerate too much of that. This is one of those situations where I'm going to limp and hope that I, let him catch something or something problematic. This is going to be bloody. The blinds are getting higher. Everybody's almost equally stacked. Number 5 is the one that I'm the most confused by. I'd love to see someone like Lex take a guy like that and analyze hand holdings because it's confusing to me. I have no reason to doubt number 8 when they bet. They've been fairly tight, like even folding those blinds as things are going up. If they bet, I'm a little more concerned. Number 5 is completely fucking unknown. I mean, I just don't know what they've got at any given moment. I wish this was suited. Part of me wanted to play this just to test my edges against number 5, but super weak. Not very excited about King 7 offsuit. I'm gonna do something even dumber and just limp into a pot. I'm gonna flat here. They're showing strength doesn't particularly scare me away. But I didn't connect. There's too many weird draws. I kind of wish they would just check it down, but who knows? So I doubt 5 is going to fold this. Yeah. Oof. With an 8, man. We know how I'm playing this. And if I bust out with it, I just bust out. Oh, come on, man. Finally catch something and everybody folds to me. If they fold to me, I'm probably going to jam this. I don't like it, but I'm not playing it after the flop against them. And that would be a fold. All right, so we made the money. Number 5 is gone. I don't even know what the fuck that hand was. They won with a goddamn 8 as their flush. Gonna be all in real fast here. Need to double up. That loose play from number 5, man, that shit. Oh man, that eats me up. I can't tell where I am. based on their bet sizing. Don't know what's going on. Can't figure out if I'm ahead or not. And again, number 8, you see the fold. Like I tend to believe them a little bit more. Their table image is much more firm. Number 6, I don't have quite as much information on. The Jack and a 6 suited, I just don't think is strong enough. This is plenty strong enough. Let me limp in and see if I can get some action to get them to go all in. If I just jam, they're likely going to call. And this could be the dumb thing to do because I let them catch something and beat me. The problem is if I would have jammed, they'd probably just get out of the way. So if I'm going to play it, it's a jam. I think I'm in a better spot to just let this go. If I had even ace 5 with a potential like for a straight draw, I might have considered jamming that. If this folds to me, I'll jam. My stack is okay. Got enough to do some damage. Um, I'd be really happy to even get a second place here. Just win a little bit. This is a okay. This is something that I'm going to fold to a prior bet from number 8. I'm not getting involved with them. See, number 8, no limps, no 2 times a big blind, just bets periodically. They're on a pretty tight range. I can lean on number 6. In fact, if number 8 folds, I may just see if I can see a flop with this. If they get pushed back, I'm gonna let it go. And that's actually not too bad. That's a lot of scare cards. Um, they get super aggressive back, I can let it go. The only card that would be the 5. I think I'll just bet here and see what happens. I'll call that. Suited. We'll see what happens here. Was wondering if 8 was gonna bet. Still doing okay, even at that little pot I lost. Eh, why not? Let's gamble. Now, last time they had second pair, meaning like a jack, and just kept going, assuming it didn't have the ace. Oh, pretty tight. I'll flat this. I'm not super excited. I'll flat that as well. See if they bet back. 3s and 6s. I don't particularly like this, but let's just check it down, see what they do. If they jam it in, I'm gonna let it go. I just don't think the 3 is strong enough. There's too many weird. They could have a king, they could have a 6, they could have a jack. I'm not particularly happy with how I played that, but we didn't make a decision to the death. I will bet pre-flop on this one. Stacks are kind of level. Yeah, like I said, not super happy with how I played that, but it's like I put in 300, you bet 6. I put in 300, you bet 6. Like I want more. I want more. I did not. I mean, I could have called that I had something, but I just didn't assume I was ahead. Ooh. Oof. Sometimes you go after the bull, you get the horns. Um, any king or ace is likely got this beat. I don't feel super good about calling with something this week. I hate giving them fold equity here, but I just don't have enough of a hand to feel like I can stand up to that. If 8 folds here, I'm gonna jam, and I'd risk half my stack on this 3-handed. If 8 bets, I'm probably gonna get out of the way. They're okay, and I don't like it, but they're tight enough and got a big enough stack they can beat me up. I'm in a good position to be able to take a second place here. Of course, number 6 just has to double up. Interesting. I'm gonna bet here. Good luck all in. Pretty much heads up, I could almost be like any ace. Any king, jack, king, queen, jam, jam, jam for me. I don't spend that much time playing after the flop. Judging 2 times the big blind and bet sizes and stuff, heads up is certainly more volatile. When I'm on the button, it's profitable to take the blinds. I think that a 7 is plenty strong enough to bet this. I can't imagine them calling unless they hit something like queen and a 5, 2 pair, 3 of a kind, pair of 5, something like that. So part of me wants to jam here, and you've got to risk the flush on the river, but I think at 2 pair, just a solid bet again. 7 and a 3, and I did limp in. It's not like I showed any pre-flop aggression. Oh, let's call. Let's do it. Nice. That was good. I'm really happy with that. Hope you guys enjoyed. It was nice to take a first place.